You can't do it physically. I mean, look at them bloody pigs. Remember them pigs in England a couple of years ago? They went walkabout from the slaughterhouse, and I don't blame them. It took the might of the great British Empire, what was it, 5, 6, 7 days to catch these bloody pigs? They're on the bloody news, these pigs, because they couldn't catch them. Because if you want to control large numbers of people physically with a few, then forget it. But you don't have to. It's not how it's done. It's not necessary. To control a herd of sheep physically, you'd need 6 or 7 blokes for every sheep, and they wouldn't even be then guaranteed to catch it. But how is it done then? It's done through the two states of being that not only control herds of sheep, they control humanity second by second, day after day. The two states of being of what I call bar and fear. What happens? I mean, everyone must have seen this from time to time. The farmer arrives at a certain time in the day. 1 or 2 of the friggin' sheep start to walk, and then they're all at it, aren't they? Following the one in front. Ba, 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 ba. And no one says, excuse me, you're at the front. Where you going? And if we did, they'd probably turn around and go, I don't know, really. But we still follow. Ba, 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 ba. That accounts for most of them. And then you've got the tiny few who go on munching. They don't want to follow the one in front. I want to go there. And they're sorted by the other element in this duo, fear, symbolized by the sheepdog. Sheep go, rah, 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 and they're in line, aren't they? And those two states of being, of bar and fear, round up millions and millions of sheep on this planet every single day, without anyone doing anything physically, apart from a few barks here and there. And it's kind of funny to watch. Oh, look at them sheep, Ethel, come look at these sheep, they're so stupid. And then we apply that to the human expression. And we find that we have actually out-sheep the sheep. We have dispensed with the sheepdog. We police each other. And what that means is that he who sets the norms in society, what is considered right and wrong, moral and immoral, possible or impossible, sane or insane, sets a mental and emotional human sheep pen, which the vast majority of people will live in because they're not thinking for themselves, bar. Well, our Davy's a professor. He goes to university. He must know what he's doing. I will not question him. He's very clever. And that leaves a few who look at these mental and emotional prisons, these norms in society, and they can see that they're limited, that they are flawed, and at their extreme, they are manipulating in pursuit of control. But what do the vast majority of those who've sussed it do? Because of the other element, fear, fear of what other people think, fear of being different, fear of having a different truth to the norm, most of them also live their lives within those norms, within that sheep pen, even though they've sussed that it's a fraction of possibility. And when you get to the edge of these mental and emotional prisons, these hassle-free zones, as I call it, comfort zones some people call them, and you know that if you go any further in speaking your truth and living a different lifestyle, you know if you go any further you're going to meet condemnation and ridicule for the crime, and that's what it's become, of being different. What is the source of that fear? Shall I, shan't I? It's not fear of what people in apparent positions of power will do. It's not fear of what Tony Blair will do if you express your uniqueness. Not that I could give a shit, I can tell you. It's not fear of what Bill Clinton will think or the head of the Bank of England. What's going through the minds of people who are saying, shall I, shan't I be me, or shall I be someone else's version of what I should be? It's, if I do, what will my mother say? Oh my God. What will the people at work say? Oh my God. What about the people down the bar? In other words, the people who frighten others into conforming are those who are already conforming. Because if people want to give their minds away and give their lives away to someone else's version of reality instead of their own, that's fine. I have a problem with that. Be my guest. Have a cup of tea. That's not the point that we pass that gives the few the ability to control the planet. It makes it easier, yeah, but it doesn't cross the line where it becomes possible. That line is crossed when those who concede their mind to someone else's norms then insist that everyone else does the same. Because that's when the human race becomes not only the sheep, but the sheepdog. That's the point when we police each other. And if you are a handful, literally a handful compared with the population of planet Earth, who are manipulating, what is it now, supposed to be 6 billion? Has anyone counted them? How do they work that out? 6 billion, apparently. It is absolutely essential that you get the 6 billion to keep each other in line. Because there's not enough of you to do it. And when you created this herd mentality, my goodness me, it's been around for a few thousand years now, and you've got people to police each other. What you do then is you break up the herd mentality into warring factions. What you do is you create organizations and belief systems that can be played off against each other, like religions, political parties, economic systems, and all this stuff. And then you get people to fight and war with each other. So now we're not only a herd mentality, the herd mentality is at war with itself. And while we're cussing each other and shouting each other and blaming each other, the few are pulling the strings of all sides. But we don't stop for long enough. We don't have quiet for long enough to say to the people we conflict with, excuse me, who are they? And why have they got strings attached to me? And he's got the same strings attached to you, and I'm opposing you. Because if you are going to hold a position of global control, you have to have conflict and chaos. The 33rd degree level of Freemasonry, I understand, has a motto, Ordo ab chaos, order out of chaos. If you can create the chaos, you can offer order out of the chaos you've created, your order, your agenda, what you want the world to be. You try manipulating harmony. You try manipulating people who have respect for another's right to be different. It's a nightmare. You try manipulating conflict, piece of cake. And that's why the world's full of chaos and conflict. It's about control. And this hassle-free zone version of reality is so narrow and so limited that there are no opposites in there. So we have to invent opposites to play off against each other to create the divide and rule. For instance, people who are opposites, I'm told, I read it somewhere, go to war with each other. No, they don't. The opposite of people who see war as an answer to anything are people who see war as an answer